Shout it out, everybody that's tuned in to We Locked In. I'm your host, Moshe Canty. Hope everything is all right with everyone out there. Want to give an opportunity, man, for everybody to pull up. This won't be a long one tonight. Just want to touch up on a few things. You guys already see what the title is, so I'm going to obviously be going over the topic that's in the thumbnail. But before I do that, I want to just speak briefly about the recent arrest of the officers charged with the murder of Ty Nichols. But before I do that, I want everybody to, pull up. Yo, shout it out, everybody, man. I'm your host, Moshe Canty. If y'all pulling up the We Locked In, please, man, do yourselves a favor and do us all a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please, man, on your way in. I'm not trying to politicize this and use this platform as a way to sway people towards my opinion in any of that regard. But I do think that it's necessary that we speak about issues that are in the news that are obviously relevant. And this is where We Locked In, those of us that We Locked In, we separate ourselves from our counterparts with all due respect, is because, we tend to focus more on issues that are obviously impactful, serious, and not always involved with all of the senselessness and buffoonery. We get it. There's a time to laugh and joke, but for the most part, we need to really, really utilize our platforms as a way to speak to the seriousness of the issues that we as a people are confronted with in America. And you guys, obviously, we all have phones, we all have TVs, at least most of us in this case. So we don't want to not speak about relevant issues. We don't want to not mention relevant issues because today's Tyre Nichols story could easily be your story tomorrow. And that right here is something that we just want to just put into perspective. I think that this is important that we speak about that. So today the news came out that 5 Memphis police officers were indicted on charges of murder and kidnapping in Tyre Nichols' death. And their actions stemmed from an alleged incident. And now we know the video will be coming out tomorrow. I didn't see the video. So the only thing that I'm giving you guys is not necessarily a firsthand account, but I'm only repeating what has been stated in the media. So again, this is an opportunity for me to just highlight the fact that these officers have been indicted by the Shelby County District Attorney's Office. Their names being Tavarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Justin Smith, Emmett Martin, and Desmond Mills Jr. And each of them have been charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, 2 charges of aggravated kidnapping, 2 charges of official misconduct, and 1 charge of official oppression. It is alleged that the district attorney and them are alleging that these charges stem about 3 weeks ago after Tyre Nichols in this case, a 29-year-old black man was hospitalized after a traffic stop and a confrontation with these officers who I just named. And he unfortunately experienced a savage beating. Consequently, Nichols ended up succumbing to his injuries on January 10th, 3 days after his arrest. 4 of the officers remain in custody as of Thursday after being booked in the Shelby County Jail. Bond was set for $350,000 for Haley and Martin, and $250,000 for Bean and Smith. And this is according to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI. Officer Mills posted bond for $250,000 on Thursday evening and was released according to jail records. This beating that Nichols experienced at the hands of these officers has been compared to the beating that Rodney King took back in the early 90s in Los Angeles, which ultimately led to the Los Angeles riots. So we do know that police nationwide have been under heightened scrutiny, and respectfully so, for how they treat black people. Surprisingly, when I saw the news, the all officers arrested in this count were all black themselves. Since the death of George Floyd in the mass protest movement, which stemmed from that in the Black Lives Matter movement, there has been a lot of even more scrutiny regarding officers that have been accused of assaulting or even killing unarmed black men, where before there wasn't as much scrutiny. And if anything, people were not being held accountable for their actions. For someone who has actually experienced the blatant and wanton abuse of authority by correction officers, police officers, I know firsthand, what can occur in these type of situations. So I just wanted to just highlight these atrocities that black men are experiencing in America, but also just draw attention to what this individual had to go through. He has a family who, unfortunately, they are distraught at the moment because their son, their loved one, is no longer here. So this is just putting things into perspective. So we don't want to overlook the fact that someone's life was taken by these authorities. Because again, if we remain silent today, then tomorrow it can be you laying on the ground, dead with no life in you. And I'm sure you would definitely love if there were people who spoke about your life. So yeah, this man's life meant something to his family and his loved ones in his community. So we locked in. We'll be keeping you guys aware of any developments regarding this particular case, just so you guys can be aware of it. So with that being said, I I advise everyone out there to take a more proactive approach to just being aware of what's going on out there. All right. Tomorrow, the attorneys are supposed to, the district attorney's office is supposed to be releasing the video of the incident. So we'll have more of a detailed account from this incident, and we'll have an opportunity of seeing exactly what occurred. So well, let's tune in for that. So moving on. I know I said that I would basically touch on the situation regarding China Mac. Now, let me just state for the record, you guys see why I titled this live, China Mac is Black, right? And I've been getting a lot of, comments in the chat and stuff like that. And that's cool, right? I understand, I get it. Everybody has something to say about this. And, some people would prefer that I not say that China is Black and so on and so forth. And people have no idea of why I'm even having these conversations about that. Why is it even important that I'm having these conversations about this stuff? So let me just give you a quick backdrop about my position on all of this, right? One, I don't want to use I don't want to use this platform here, We Locked In, as a way to demonize anybody, right? That's just not what I want to do. Now, I understand individuals use it for their own reasons, and that's cool. Individuals can do what they want with their platforms. But I don't want to do that with this platform. So what I want to focus on is doing more with educating individuals more than anything. Because all too often, we get into the habit of just being dumb for the sake of being dumb. And I have to ask the question, how long are we going to keep being dumb for? Right? Nobody wants to claim that China Mac is Black. And that's all right. Nobody can disprove it. Only people can say what they want to say. And that's fine and dandy. But I want to have a much deeper conversation about not so much China Mac. If you guys out there think that this is about China Mac, you guys have missed the mark. You have totally missed the mark. You guys are not paying attention. If you guys know anything about me, then you will realize that Mo is not focused on China Mac at all. If I can use China Mac as a way to simply say that we need to become more educated about who we are, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to educate us. And from the beginning, I basically stated that the original Chinese people, or the word we know as China, the original Chinese people that inhabited the land we know today as China, were black people. I'm not saying anything that's inaccurate. So for those of us who have actually studied and we've done our independent research, and I'm not taking that away from anybody who hasn't done their own independent research, it's just that we got to go out there and start studying. I think today we do more picking up our phones than anything. Everything is about the phone. But nobody is picking up any books to read. And I think that is what the problem is. So what I want to do is I want to inspire individuals to go back to the basics. Start picking up some books. Let's have a real intellectual conversation about our origins. All right. And then as we come forward, we'll be able to root out we'll be able to identify and root out or identify what some of those problems are and root out all of the prejudices and the biases and things of that nature. So this website that I'm on here is questionable. Just for the record, I want to put this out there. It's questionable. So the book that I put up there is a book that is written by, or edited by, shall I say, Ivan Van Sertima, a well-renowned historian who did his research in various capacities and things of that nature in various different on various levels of study and things like that. So he has more knowledge about this than I did. So he wrote a series of books, and it's the first book that you probably may or may not be aware of is the book They Came Before Columbus. That was one of the books that he that he wrote. In addition to that, he also wrote the book African Presence in Early Asia, African Presence in Early America, African Presence in Early Europe, right? His books are profound. I'm not going to tell you what my understanding of those books are. The only thing I want you guys to do is go out there and do your own independent research. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm not, just for the record, I'm not putting this information up here as a way to say that this website itself is an authority. I'm only putting this up here to use it as a counter argument so that individuals can identify and see for themselves that these figures that you see here are reflective of black faces, right? That in different geographical areas of the world populated at one time as well. At one time on this earth, right? So again, I want everybody to go out there and do their own independent research. All right. Then once you're able to do that, then come back to me and, then we can have that much deeper conversation and then we can go from there. Right. And I want us to really, really start looking at it from that perspective. Right. Who are we? Who are you? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? We always can say, most of us say, I'm black, I'm this, I'm that. And most of us don't even really know if that's true or not, because we can't really speak to the veracity of that. Most of us in America, in the diaspora, can't even trace our origins back 2 or 3 generations. How many of us actually know who our great grandparents are 5 generations from who we are? Our father, his father, his father, his father, and so on and so forth. At some point, it actually stops. If you are able to do that and you're fortunate to do that, then that's great. And that's all right. We can always get into where we think we are and who we think we are and stuff like that. But the bigger issue is that what is the main purpose of saying that somebody is not a part of this community or somebody is a part of the community? We see everybody talking about, and let's use YouTube as an example. Everyone's talking about we're a part of the same community. We're all black. We're all brothers. Let me say this to you guys. If what I see on YouTube is brotherhood, I don't want to be your brother. If what I see on YouTube is brotherhood, I don't want to be your brother. Because all I see on YouTube is black people tearing each other down left and right. That's a fact. That's all I see all day. This platform's going at that platform, this guy is going at that guy, and that guy is going, everybody black. I don't see nobody white doing it. I mean, I really don't. So it's amazing how we all want to be black, but everybody who is targeting and going at it with each other is black. So you guys are very confused. I don't want to be black and down if all these black people are going to be attacking me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest. All these black people, everybody want to be black. Everybody want to be brothers. We all brothers. We all love each other. But ain't nobody showing nobody no love. So it's funny when you hear all this stuff, right? That everybody wants to play the race card and appear to be unified with our blackness. But then we can tear each other down once you can identify with your blackness. Nah, I'm good. I'm all right. You dig what I'm saying? So on a much deeper level, is it all right for us to just be black? Nah, I don't think that's even accurate. Because the people who claim to be black are not your brothers, man. Your brothers don't tear you down. Your brothers only lift you up. Your brothers only seek to empower you and make you stronger. But that's all we see on this internet. And then you guys are gonna tell me, that blackness means this and blackness means that. Nah, it don't work like that. We have a lot to learn about ourselves, man, myself included. And before I could get up here and preach to anybody, I have to hold myself to account first and foremost. And I just want to have these much deeper conversations so that what we can do is we can identify with who we are. And just focus on just ourselves and stop getting caught up in all of this hoopla, taking sides with this platform against this platform and things like that, because it really is a bunch of garbage. Personally, I believe that, and these are my beliefs, that I know this from experience, that it doesn't really matter what color your skin is. Because I've had individuals who were black snake me and deceive me and lie to me and cheat to me. But I've had individuals whose skin complexions was white and yellow and red and who treated me with more dignity and honor than anybody else. So brotherhood and love and all of these things is not based on anyone's definition on the internet. You have to define what your definition of what that means by your interaction with people who you deal with on a daily basis. And that's just the reality. So if a person is white and they treating you like they're your brother, They're uplifting you. They're empowering you. But yet when you get around your black people and all they do is tear you down, you have to make a choice of whether or not this individual is truly in your best interest. I know for me, I don't really look at the person's the complexion of their skin. That stuff really doesn't matter to me. I mean, when I was a lot younger, I got caught up in that from a cultural standpoint, so it meant something back then. But today, as an older man, nah, that stuff really doesn't mean anything because it's just simply just words. It doesn't have any value to it. So the conversation of China Mac being black is is really a way for us to kind of delve into a lot of deeper issues that's really impacting the community overall. I've had some really good conversations, and shout out to the people who I've been able to have some real healthy conversations with, where we've been able to, speak to individuals. I mean, just speak to a lot of the issues that's confronting us overall. We've been able to kind of like have a real serious build about things, and I really appreciate like everybody's comments. I don't invalidate people's opinions and things like that. So, um, you know, what people are saying and stuff like that. It's the fact that your opinion is what you feel. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to invalidate that. So I've been having some really good conversations with individuals. I was going back and forth with somebody in my chat yesterday, and we just was like constantly building with each other, but we left on good terms because it was just like, yo, like, I hold on to my beliefs and you hold on to yours, but it's a good way for us to kind of like open up this dialogue and see if we can build together, because that's the most important part, that we respect each other's opinions and beliefs and stuff like that, and we leave on good terms. Because I'm not gonna force anyone's my beliefs on anyone, as I wouldn't expect anyone to try to force their beliefs on me and stuff like that. And I think that's what we do when we get to these platforms. It looks all good and stuff like that. The views go up and everybody's hitting the like button, saying real disparaging stuff in the chats and stuff like that. But that's not what I'm here for. So it's not, gonna make me. I don't feel a way about that. One thing I learned a long time ago is that you don't get too high when people praise you, and you don't get too low when they disparage you. You just got to be even killed. You dig what I'm saying? Because the same people who big you up will tear you down, and the same people who tear you down won't pick you up. So you just got to stay even killed and do everything in your power to remain respectful, and treat people with a level of dignity and integrity. The thing I was saying about China Mac being black is, um, we all like to point the finger at others as if somehow we don't have our own issues that we're dealing with. G'd up Quinn, thank you, my brother, man. Shout it out, man. I appreciate your love and support, man. Thank you so much, man. I mean, I think what happens a lot of times is that we end up forgetting that we're human beings as well, and we have our own shortcomings. So yeah, China Mac, are we talking about China Mac, the imperfect individual? Yeah, all right, he's imperfect, whatever like that. I mean, so what, right? Ain't I imperfect as well, right? Don't I got my own issues I need to address? But help me address my issues, right? Like if we really for each other, pull me up and say, yo, man, yo, Mo, I saw this about you, man, and perhaps, man, this is something that's a deficiency, and we can pick each other up, right? And that's where we should be at this point of our lives. Um, it just it's just an opportunity, man, for us to kind of like keep elevating and keep building. If we're not doing that, then we only destroying each other. And at this point of the game, man, it's really not even worth doing that. Yeah, yo, true, Les. I agree with you, man. Loyalty doesn't exist in the streets no more. So what makes you people think that you're going to find loyalty on YouTube? People need to wake up. Yo, you right. You right, bro. Yo, listen, man. The street culture. And we can kind of like equate the YouTube culture with the streets. In this regard, not that it's crime and stuff taking place. It's the backbiting, the slander, and the ridicule and the disparaging behavior and stuff like that. And it's just a way to tear each other down, right? So it is like a form of the streets and stuff like that. And you're right. Shout out to True Les, man. And thank you, thank you both for your support always. It's never going to be loyalty in that regard. You dig what I'm saying? So it is our responsibility. You're right, Stacey Galore. You're right. YouTube is the new streets. It is the new streets, and it's a new streets in the way where it's like the Game of Thrones, where individuals will say and do anything to kind of like tear you down. One minute, everyone's it's all we're all in together now, and then in the next breath, it's like, hey, go get them, yeah, go get them, that type of vibe and stuff like that. So you do have to be very mindful of that. You don't want to get caught slipping in these streets and stuff like that. So yeah, it can be real nasty and ugly and stuff like that. But you just gotta have tough skin. I mean, you can't expect to come into these forums and there not be some type of some pushback and stuff like that. So it's very important that we, just understand the nature of the system that you're working out of. I mean, it's the same thing in the workplace. All right. It's the same thing in the field of business and things like that. I mean, you can be a CEO of a company and you got competitors that's going to be coming at you, trying to disparage you and do everything to tear you down. And it could be like that in politics. I mean, one of the famous quotes I think was by Mao Zedong, the former communist leader of China. He said, what? War is politics. Well, he said politics is war with bloodshed, and war is politics. No, he said politics is war without bloodshed, and war is politics with bloodshed. So, to bring it to that is that, there's always going to be a political angle and individuals using that as a way to, kind of bring you down and stuff like that. But, you just got to stay strong and keep moving forward. And, as long as you understand the mission at hand and what it is that you want to do, you won't get thrown off your square. But going back to the whole China Mac is Black thing, I just wanted to kind of spark this discussion. Keep it going. Keep this thing, up and ready. So as we used to say back in the days, so we can try to uplift each other. Have a conversation, a much deeper conversation, because younger people are watching this as well, right? And not many younger individuals know anything about how most of us grew up. A lot of us grew up with books in our hands. We had an understanding from a cultural standpoint where we were able to kind of make, at least connect the dots, so to speak. Some of us growing up in the 70s and stuff like that, 80s and stuff like that. We came from our parents who were, if not on the front lines in the Black Power in the civil rights era, they pretty much they were from that era. So, like Bone said, we were like the bastard childs of that era, right? But not in that regard. But for the most part, we had a different upbringing. So today, it's not really like that. So it's a lot different for the younger generation. So, but again, on this YouTube channel, individuals are really not that young, so to speak. You'll be surprised that people are actually older on these platforms, acting younger than you would expect. So, don't let that fool you neither. But yeah, so I just wanted to put this information up here for you guys who may not be in these books, who may not read, who may not have an understanding of your culture, to do your own research. Go back and look, read, and educate yourself. It's not my job to do that. It's your job to do that. You know what I mean? Go pick up some books. Go sit down in the privacy of your home somewhere and get a better understanding of who you are and where you come from. And that will, at least prevent you from spending time doing nothing. So hopefully, man, we'll be able to move forward from this, and keep elevating. True Elias says sometimes ignorance overtakes your mind and it keeps you from seeing the true picture. I mean, that's if you allow it. If you allow it to, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's just being ignorant. But you know how this world is, bro. You just gotta just always be that beacon of light, man, and stay focused and keep moving forward. That's just the reality of our situation. But I don't want to hold you guys, man. I just want to give you guys something to think about. Thank y'all for everybody that's in the chat, even the trolls. I see the trolls is out. Troll Nation is heavy in the building tonight, which is great. We need that balance in this. Yes, yo, winter is definitely coming. Yeah, but I'm Jon Snow. You Yo, I'm Jon Snow. But nah, listen, even the trolls is in the building. Shout out to the trolls, everybody that's been putting their comments in there. I appreciate all that, man. We have those of us that we locked in. We don't invalidate no comments that you putting out there. So however strange it may sound, put your thoughts in the chat, man. That doesn't bother me one way or another, man. Thank y'all for y'all support. True LES, Stacy Galore. I don't know who, Alta Fire Ministries, Wavy, Mr. 86 in Linux, True 4. I see Bad Habits, Richard Bird. I don't know a lot of y'all, but that's cool. Legoat, Luciano L. Cool, man. Keep up the trolling, man. I love it, man. Y'all take it easy, man. Stay focused and pick up some books. That's what we need to do. Pick up some books. Y'all stay focused, man. We locked in.